Les divertissements du Seigneur sont difficiles à comprendre pour les êtres ordinaires.
The pastimes of the Lord are difficult to understand
Pourquoi?
for
Parce que
ordinary beings. Why?
le monde
Because
transcendantal
the
est une
transcendental world
réflexion,
is a reflection.
le monde matériel est une
The
réflexion
material
du monde
world is a
transcendantal.
reflection of the
Donc
transcendental
on
world.
rencontre
So
toutes
we
les mêmes sortes de
encounter
choses, mais dans leur état
different
pur.
kinds of things,
La
but in their
querelle, par
pure
exemple.
state.
En
Quarrel,
fait,
for example,
ce divertissement,
this pastime,
il vient comme un
it comes
arrangement
like an
pour que les
arrangement
associés du
so that
Seigneur
the associates of the
aillent
Lord
sur une autre planète,
can go on
un
another
autre univers,
planet, another universe,
pour accompagner
to accompany
le
the
Seigneur.
Supreme
Il
Lord.
fallait que le Seigneur fasse un
So
arrangement
the Lord
pour que
needed to
tous
do an
ses associés
arrangement
disparaissent.
for all his associates to
Vishwanath
disappear.
Chakravarti Thakur
So
explique quelque
Vishwanath
chose qui est
Chakravarti
vraiment
Thakur
intéressant.
explains something that is very interesting.
C'est que
It is that
de Golok
from
Vrindavan,
Golok Vrindavan,
le Seigneur originel
the
dans sa
original,
forme
the,
de
the
Krishna,
original Lord in his form of Krishna,
et son énergie interne sous la
and
forme de
his
Shrimati
internal
Radharani
energy in the form of Srimati Radharani
s'expande en différentes
expands
formes.
in different forms.
Hein. Et
And
Balaram,
Balaram,
qui est la première expansion
who
de
is the
Krishna,
first
se
expansion of
manifeste
Krishna,
aussi
manifests
dans une
also
quantité excessive
in an
de
excessive quantity
hein.
of
Et
devotees and paraphernalia.
tous ces êtres-là
All these living
s'expandent à
entities,
nouveau sur
they
différentes
expand
planètes
on different planets
jusqu'à se manifester sous la
to
forme
manifest
partielle de demi-dieux.
as the partial form of demigods.
Et lorsque les associés
And
en
when
fait,
the
viennent
associates
dans
come
le monde
in
terrestre,
the,
les
on this
demi-dieux
planet,
qui sont des expansions
the
partielles du
demigods who are
Seigneur
partial expansions of the
entrent
Lord
en eux.
enter
C'est
into
quelque
them.
chose
It is
de
something
difficile à
that is difficult
comprendre.
to understand.
Et lorsque,
And when,
par exemple,
for
ils se
example,
sont entretués,
they killed each other,
les corps,
the bodies, Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur
avant de
explains,
s'entretuer,
before
les
killing each
associés
other,
du Seigneur, en
the
fait,
eternal
sont
associates of the
partis
Lord, they left
déjà.
already.
Ce sont les demi-dieux qui se sont entretués,
The demigods killed each
pas
other,
les associés du Seigneur.
not the associates of the
C'est
Lord.
très subtil les divertissements.
It's very subtle, the pastime, Krishna's pastimes.
De cette manière,
In this way,
les associés du Seigneur
the
ont été
associates
dans un
of the
autre
Lord,
univers,
they went
avant
into
le
another
Seigneur.
universe,
Et les demi-dieux
and the
qui étaient
demigods
venus
who
aussi,
came
quelque
also
part,
somehow
se fondre dans la
to,
forme
to
des,
merge into
des
the
associés
form
du
of the
Seigneur, qui sont
associates
leur
of the
origine,
Lord, who are
hein,
their
ont
origin,
aussi, quelque part,
they also somehow
accompli un divertissement
accomplished
pleinement
a
en s'entretuant.
pastime fully by killing each other.
Alors,
So
un enseignement nous est donné, bien
a
sûr,
teaching is given to us,
c'est
of
qu'ils se
course.
sont entretués
It is that they killed each other
à cause d'une malédiction.
because of a
toujours
curse. We should
Faire
always
attention
be
avec les
careful
sages.
with the
Parce que les
sages,
sages sont pas
because the
forcément,
sages are not necessarily
complètement
completely
transcendantales.
transcendental.
C'est expliqué, par exemple, que
It is
certains
explained
sages comme Maharishi
that certain sages like Marichi,
ne sont pas considérés comme des associés
they're not
éternels.
considered like eternal associates of the Supreme Lord.
Ça, c'est
This-
les Acharyas qui expliquent ça.
The Acharyas explain this.
Par exemple, la position de
For example,
Narada
the
Muni est
position of the
complètement
Narada Muni is completely different.
différente.
Narada
Muni,
Muni
il est toujours dans tous les divertissements.
Is always in all the
À Golok,
pastimes
il
of
est-
the Lord.
à
In Golok
Mangal, par exemple,
is Madhumangal, for example,
avec Chaitanya Mahaprabhu et
and with
Shivas
Chaitanya
Thakur,
Mahaprabhu is Shivas
il est dans
Thakur,
tous les divertissements.
is in all pastimes of the Lord.
Et il est aussi dans une
And
forme
he
de
is also
Narada
in
Muni.
the form of Narada Muni.
Et dans cette forme, c'est
And in this
expliqué
form, it is explained
que lorsque
That-
s'opère la dévastation
when the
de l'univers, alors il y a une dévastation partielle.
when there's a partial devastation
et
of the
c'est la
universe,
complète.
in the
Narada
complete,
Muni, il entre même
Narada Muni
comme un
even
jiva, en
enters
fait,
like a jiva,
Tata,
Tata,
la Jiva Shakti.
the jiva
Comme un
Shakti,
jiva, il entre
just like a
dans
jiva,
dans le corps
he
du
enters into the body of the
Seigneur.
Lord.
Sauf que c'est un associé éternel du
But
Seigneur,
he
il
is an eternal
réapparaît,
associate of the Lord, and he
dans la
reappears
prochaine création.
in next creation.
Il y a-
It is
c'est un
explained like this.
phénomène très compliqué à
It is a
comprendre.
phenomenon that is really complicated to understand,
Parce qu'en
Narada
même
Muni,
temps, il peut
because at the
aller dans
same time,
différentes planètes
he can go to
spirituelles,
different spiritual
il est
planets.
aussi dans tous les
He is
univers
also in every
matériels,
universe,
il
material
prêche les
universe,
gloires du Seigneur.
and he preaches the glories of the
Et il
Lord
est très cher
everywhere.
au Seigneur.
And he is very dear to the Supreme Lord.
Très 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 cher.
Very, very dear.
En fait, Shivas
Shivas Thakur,
il y a un divertissement avec Shivas
there's a
Thakur.
pastime with
Chaitanya
Shivas Thakur,
Mahaprabhu
Chaitanya
l'a
Mahaprabhu.
testé.
He tested
Il a
him.
fait un test.
He did a test.
Parce que
Because
Shivas Thakur,
Shivas Thakur,
sa conscience, c'est qu'il n'avait pas besoin de
his
travailler.
consciousness is that he didn't need to work.
Le Seigneur pourvoit.
The Lord gives.
Quand on est abandonné, le Seigneur.
When we are abandoned, the Lord gives
C'est
everything.
simplement ceux qui ont
It
pas
is
de
simply
foi,
those who have no faith
qui travaillent comme des
that
hommes.
work like asses,
Parce qu'ils pensent que c'est par
because they
simplement
think
leur
it is
force
simply
qu'ils peuvent
by their own
se maintenir.
strength
C'est pour ça
that they
qu'ils
can
génèrent
maintain
le
themselves.
karma.
And that's why they generate karma.
Mais quand le Seigneur lui a dit
But when the
qu'il
Lord
fallait qu'il
told him
travaille
that
pour
he
maintenir
needed
sa
to
famille,
work to maintain his family,
Shivas Thakur, il a tapé dans
Shivas
ses mains
Thakur, he hit his hands,
plusieurs fois,
clapped
trois
his
fois,
hands
trois
many
fois.
times, 3 times I think.
Et Chaitanya Mahaprabhu,
And Chaitanya Mahaprabhu,
qui connaît toutes choses,
who knows everything,
il lui a demandé pourquoi
asked
tu as
him,
frappé 3 fois.
why did you hit your hands 3 times?
En fait, tout ça, ça signifiait
Out of this, it means that
le principe de l'abandon.
the principle of surrender.
Si le Seigneur ne
If the Lord
ne maintient plus, la
does
vie,
not
c'est-
maintain me anymore, my life is worthless.
Et comme tous les membres de la famille de
And since
Shivas
all the members
sont
of
au même niveau,
Shiva's family members are on the same
on voit,
level,
par exemple,
we see, for example,
la femme de Shivas était
the
tellement avancée
Shiva's
spirituellement.
wife was so advanced
Quand
spiritually
Nityananda
that
était
when
dans
Nityananda
sa-
he was in Samadhi,
Quand Nityananda était dans sa
when
maison,
Nityananda
il
was in
devenait
his
un
house,
petit enfant. Il
he became
fêtait le sein
a
de-
child again.
Bien que Malati,
He was sucking her
elle
breast.
était
Although
faite, elle
Malati,
apparaît.
she didn't have milk, milk was appearing
La
from her
puissance
breast.
de la Bhakti.
This is the power of Bhakti.
Elle était tellement avancée
She was
que
so much
Nitai
advanced that
redevenait
Nitai
un petit enfant.
was becoming a child again.
C'est pourquoi c'est pas des personnes
This is
ordinaires.
why there are no
Quelqu'un
ordinary
qui est abandonné à
personalities.
Krishna,
Someone who
il a
is
foi en
surrendered
Krishna.
to Krishna, he has faith in Krishna.
Et c'est ça la puissance d'un
And this is the strength of a devotee. It's
Il ne
that
tient pas sur sa force.
he does not
Il ne compte pas
maintain
sur
himself
sa
on
force.
he doesn't count on his own strength.
Il sait,
He,
moi je
he
n'ai aucune
knows.
force.
I have no strength.
Et c'est pour ça que
And this is why
il prend refuge
he takes
au
shelter
Seigneur suprême pour
of
sa
the Supreme
protection
Lord for his
et son
protection
maintien.
and his
Car
maintenance.
les choses, là, il prend refuge
He
pour
takes
son
shelter
maintien et son
for his
maintien.
maintenance and for his protection.
Donc un tel dévot,
So such a devotee,
comme Prahlad,
just like Prahlad,
il était comme un enfant.
Prahlad was just like a child in the hands of the Lord. He
Ses
didn't
gestes
know.
quotidiens, ça
He
se faisait
didn't
tout seul.
understand his. He didn't know. He was unconscious of
Quand
his
il allait aux toilettes,
actions, daily actions, activities. When he was going to the bathroom, he was completely absorbed in Krishna, and Krishna was taking care of him like a mother.
Parfois,
Sometimes,
quand il voyait Krishna,
when he saw
il
Krishna,
souriait, il
he was
riait.
smiling. He will laugh. He will cry.
Et quand,
And
un
when
instant après,
one moment
Krishna
later,
partait
Krishna
loin
was
de lui,
leaving, far
alors
away from him,
il se lamentait.
so he was
Et
lamenting.
comme il se lamentait comme
And since he was
comme un enfant
lamenting like a
qui a
child
besoin de sa mère,
who needs his mother,
alors Krishna revient.
so Krishna was coming back.
Krishna ne peut pas abandonner.
Krishna cannot abandon his devotees.
Il est lié.
He is connected.
Il y a un principe d'amour
There's a principle of love that is very
extrêmement fort.
extremely powerful.
Krishna, il dit,
Krishna he says,
cette personne-là,
this
elle est
person,
capable de tout pour moi.
she's able to do anything for me,
Souffrir pour moi.
to suffer for me,
Être critiquée pour
to
moi.
be criticized for me,
Rejetée pour moi.
to be rejected for me.
Elle est prête à perdre
She's ready
son
to
mari,
lose
sa femme,
her husband,
ses
her
enfants,
wife,
pour moi.
her children, everything for me.
Comment vous voulez que Krishna abandonne une personne comme ça?
How do you want Krishna to abandon someone like that? It's not possible.
Pour lui, je suis
For
tout.
him, I am
Je suis son
everything.
père, sa mère,
I am his father, his
sa
mother,
femme,
his
ses
wife,
enfants.
his
Je suis-
children. I am everything.
Il voit que moi, il a
He
que
sees
moi.
only me. He knows only me. He has only me.
Partout où il voit,
Everywhere where he
il
sees,
me voit.
he sees me.
Il est jamais séparé de moi.
He's
comme
never
je suis jamais
separated from me
séparé.
like I'm never separated from him.
il est tellement abandonné à moi,
is so
il est
surrendered to
même
me
devenu plus cher
that
que ma
even
propre
became
personne.
dearer to me than my own person.
C'est ça que Krishna dit dans la
This is
Bhagavad
what
Gita.
Krishna says in the Bhagavad Gita.
Il n'est pas simplement aussi
It's not
égal
simply the equal,
que hein, mais il est plus cher que
but
ma
is
propre
dearer
personne.
than my own person.
Ça, c'est la bhakti.
This is
Si
bhakti.
vous n'avez pas cette dévotion-là,
If you don't have this
vous ne pouvez pas
devotion,
obtenir Krishna.
we cannot obtain Krishna.
Comment on contrôle Krishna?
How do we control Krishna?
Krishna est à moi.
Krishna belongs to me.
Si vous n'avez pas cette dévotion-là,
If you don't
ça
have
marche
this
pas.
devotion, it doesn't work.
Le Seigneur est loin.
The Lord is far away, very far.
Et s'il est loin,
And if He is far,
alors votre relation, elle
so
passe
your
en second
relationship
plan.
passes
En
on the
premier
second
plan, vous avez
plane.
votre vie professionnelle,
And on
votre
first,
plan matériel et naissance
you
après
are
naissance.
like with your duties, birth after birth.
Vous êtes obsédé par
Fruitive
l'instant
activity, you're
par
obsessed with
le
fruitive
désir.
activity by your
C'est pas
desires.
votre vraie nature.
It's not your true
C'est les
nature.
réactions de vos
They are
actes
the
qui
reactions
vous
of your
poussent à être
actions
comme
that
vous êtes.
push you to be like you are.
Votre vraie nature,
But your
elle
true
peut pas se
nature
manifester parce
cannot
qu'il n'y a pas
manifest
l'abandon, il n'y a pas la
because
confiance.
there's no
Vous avez pas
surrender, there's no
confiance en Krishna.
trust. You don't have
Vous
trust in
faites vos
Krishna.
plans.
You make your plans.
Et ils sont où les plans de Krishna?
But where
Par
are
exemple,
Krishna's
à
plans?
Chanishta, hier, il me disait,
For example,
moi,
Chanishta yesterday was telling me,
une propriété, je vais faire quelque chose.
he
Est-ce
says,
que
I
c'est
want
le
to
plan de
have
Krishna ou
a
c'est le plan de
property, I
Krishna?
want to do something. Is
Et
it
Krishna, il va lui demander,
Krishna's plan
je vais faire ça.
or is it
Fais ça
your
pour
plan?
moi.
Is it Krishna who asks you to do this for me?
Alors, c'est dans le cadre de la bhakti.
So it's in
Mais s'il n'y a pas
bhakti.
l'abandon,
But if there's no surrender,
c'est pas sûr qu'on atteigne Krishna.
it's not sure we will attain Krishna.
Même en engageant les choses,
Even by engaging
c'est pas
things,
sûr.
it's not sure.
Qu'est-ce qu'il veut un dévot?
What does a devotee want? He just wants
Faire la volonté de Krishna.
to do the will of Krishna. How do we do it? First, Guru,
Avec le maître spirituel.
with the spiritual master.
Vous recevez l'instruction.
You receive the instruction and you do it. If Krishna
Si le
tells you,
spirituel vous dit, cuisine
if the
pas
spiritual
comme ça,
master
complètement
says,
matérialiste.
don't cook like you, like a materialist,
Semaine après,
and
ça
week
continue.
after week the person continues,
Vous pensez que Krishna est satisfait?
do you think Krishna is satisfied?
Il n'y a pas de connexion, il n'y aura jamais de
There's no connection, there will be never there will be
exemple.
connection. It's an example.
Si vous prenez l'ordre du maître
If you
spirituel
take
comme quelque chose
the
de
instruction of the spiritual master to be
vous
something
ferez jamais
secondary,
d'avancement dans cette vie.
you will never make spiritual
pas.
advancement in this life. You cannot. That's not possible.
Pourquoi?
Why?
Parce que vous avez un tel faux ego.
Because you have such false
Vous êtes
ego.
supérieur.
You're
Vous
superior.
pouvez même être supérieur. au
You
guru.
can even be superior to
fini.
Guru. It's finished for
Le
you.
gourou ne peut rien faire.
Guru cannot do
Il
anything.
va essayer 2-3 fois.
He would try 2-3 times and after
Et
he
c'est
he
déjà
lets go.
bien. Il est déjà comme ça.
He said
engagé, etc.
he's already engaged. It's already good. I cannot do anything for him, Krishna. And he prays Krishna. Please help him. I cannot do anything for him.
C'est comme ça que ça se passe.
It's how it happens.
Fais ça pour moi.
Do
Non,
this for
c'est
me?
toujours pas
No.
fait.
It's not done.
Ils se trichent tous les uns les autres.
They all cheat each other.
Ils se montrent tous le mauvais exemple.
They show the bad example.
C'est pour ça qu'il n'y a pas d'avancement. Il n'y a pas
That's
de
why there's no spiritual
pas
advancement.
de révélation.
There's no revelation.
Il n'y a rien qui se passe. Vous avez juste
Nothing
des problèmes.
happens. You just
C'est
have
juste vos
problems.
problèmes qui vous fatiguent.
It's only your problems that tire you.
Vous avez juste de la fièvre
You
matérielle.
just have material fever, but there's no
Pourquoi?
taste.
Quand le
Why?
maître spirituel qui est le
When the
représentant
spiritual
de
master
Krishna
or
dit ça,
Krishna's representative tells you you do that,
ah ouais, moi j'hallucine.
for me,
Ils sont nés
I
dévots,
hallucinate.
ils sont à ce niveau.
they're born devotees and they're at this level.
C'est pas évident. Hein.
It's not easy.
C'est pour ça,
That's why
notre processus,
our
qu'est-ce
process,
que dit Krishna?
what does Krishna
Dans le
say?
verset Tadvidi Pali-
In the verse Tadviti Pranipratena,
Il dit on doit,
he says, we
on
must
doit rencontrer un
we
sadhu.
must meet a sadhu.
On doit lui rendre notre hommage.
We must offer him our obeisances to serve
et
him
recevoir
and
des
receive
instructions.
instructions from him.
Mais quand vous
But
recevez une instruction,
When
ça
you
veut dire
receive
quoi?
an instruction, what does
Il
it
se passe
mean?
rien après.
Nothing happens after?
J'ai écouté quelque chose.
I listened to something.
Ça ressemblait à
It seemed like, oh, you.
Mais j'ai pas très bien compris.
But I did not really
J'ai pas
understand.
bien compris.
I did not understand properly.
Ça fait 2 fois qu'il le dit. mais
2
j'ai pas
times he
encore
tells it,
compris.
but I didn't
Ça
understand
ressemblait
yet.
cette fois.
It seemed- It was like that.
Mais ça ne devait pas être ça.
Maybe it wasn't that.
Parce que là, j'ai pas le temps.
Because I have no time, you understand?
J'ai beaucoup de choses à faire.
I have many things to
C'est
do.
fatigant.
It's tiring.
Alors la fatigue, elle est encore plus forte.
So
Elle est encore plus forte.
fatigue is even stronger. We have even less time.
Mais
But
quand on a foi
when we have faith
dans le maître spirituel,
in the spiritual master,
Krishna nous aide.
Krishna helps us.
C'est ça le secret.
This is the secret.
Mon dévot lui a donné un ordre.
My
je vais
devotee gave him an order, an instruction. I will
l'aider. Je
help
vais lui
him.
donner la force.
I will give him the strength, the intelligence, bhakti. I will give him
Parce qu'en
everything.
fait,
Because
un grand Vaishnava
a
explique,
great Vaishnava explains,
c'est que le dévot, il est
it is that the
complètement
devotee
abandonné.
is
Il veut rien
completely
de plus.
surrendered, doesn't want anything
Il n'a
from
aucun
Krishna,
désir matériel.
doesn't have any material desires.
Donc Krishna, il peut.
So
Il n'y a
Krishna, he
aucune
can.
faille.
There's
Krishna
no
essaye
failure.
de-
There's no.
de
Krishna he
satisfaire son
tries
dévot,
to
mais il n'y a aucune
satisfy his
faille.
devotee, but there's no
Il est
weakness.
abandonné.
He's surrendered.
Donc qu'est-ce que fait en fait
So what does Krishna do?
C'est qu'il donne du plaisir
He
au
gives
gourou
pleasure
en
to
faisant
the guru
avancer son disciple.
by making him
Parce que quand le disciple avance,
help
il va
his
être
disciple advance. Because when the
C'est de cette
disciple
manière-là que
advances,
satisfait
Krishna,
son dévot.
the guru is satisfied. That's how Krishna satisfies his
Donc,
devotee.
dès que vous avez foi
So
dans
as soon
le
as you have
dans les
faith in
instructions du
Guru,
gourou,
in the instructions of Guru,
Krishna vient,
Krishna
il est tout de suite
comes.
là avec vous.
He's already there with you.
C'est un grand secret.
It is a great secret.
Mais comme Krishna est réciproque
But since
avec son
Krishna
dévot,
reciprocates with his devotee,
il y a la fameuse histoire.
there's the famous
On va
story,
pas la raconter,
we
mais
won't share it,
entre Durvasa Muni
between Durvasa Muni
et Ambarish Maharaj.
and Ambarish
Quand Durvasa
Maharaj.
Muni,
When
il a
Durvasa Muni,
voulu,
he wanted
tuer
to
Ambarish Maharaj.
kill Ambarish
Mais le
Maharaj,
disque Sudarshan,
but the
c'est celui
Sudarshan
qui
disc, it is
protège
explained,
toujours le pur
he
dévot.
always protects the pure
C'est une
devotee.
bénédiction.
It is a blessing.
L'arme du Seigneur personnellement
The
protège
weapon
son
of the
devotee.
Lord personally protects his pure devotee.
Il ne peut rien arriver.
Nothing can happen to the pure
Il est
devotee.
personnellement
He's
protégé.
personally protected.
Et donc,
And so Durvasa Muni,
poursuivi par
he was
Sudarshan.
pursued by the Sudarshan chakra.
Il a été partout.
He went
Il n'y avait aucun
everywhere.
refuge.
There was no shelter.
Parce que le Seigneur
Because the
est le
Lord
refuge de tous les
is the shelter of all living
Quand il
entities.
veut,
So when he wants to kill someone,
c'est impossible
it
d'échapper.
is impossible to escape
Donc,
it.
le Durvasa Muni,
So
il
Durvasa
était
Muni,
avec Vaikuntha.
He even went to
Durvasa Muni,
Vaikuntha
une
because Durvasa
manifestation
Muni
partielle
is a
de Shiva.
partial manifestation of
Il a
Shiva.
même été à Vaikuntha,
So
il
even
était
went
au
to
pied du
Vaikuntha,
Seigneur, il a
he
dit,
fell at the
Seigneur,
feet of the
vous
Lord
êtes
and he said, Oh Lord,
miséricordieux, sauvez-moi.
you are merciful,
Et là, le
please save
Seigneur
me.
a dit, je peux
And the
pas.
Lord said, I cannot.
Ham Bhakta Paravim. Je peux pas.
I cannot.
Je m'appartiens plus, j'appartiens
I don't
à
belong to
Dieu.
myself, I belong to my pure
C'est à ce
devotee.
point-là.
It is on that
Je peux
level.
même
And
plus donner de
I
bénédiction.
cannot even give you a blessing.
Si tu veux avoir,
If you want to have,
si tu veux être sauvé de cette
if you want to be
situation,
saved
va
from
voir
this
Ambarish
situation,
Maharaj,
go see
tombe à ses
Ambarish
pieds,
Maharaj,
s'il pardonne,
fell at his
alors tu
feet.
seras sauvé.
If he forgives you, you
C'est
will
un
be
sacré
saved.
divertissement.
It's
Qu'est-ce que ça veut
quite
dire?
a
Ça veut
pastime.
dire que
What does it mean? It
vous ne
means
pouvez
that
pas
you
avoir
cannot
la
see,
miséricorde de
have the
Krishna
mercy
sans
of
avoir la
Krishna
miséricorde d'un
without
pur
having the
devotee.
mercy of a pure
Ce
devotee.
n'est pas possible.
It is not possible.
Récemment, il y a une
Recently,
jeune fille qui était avec nous,
there's a
elle
young
voulait
girl,
pas
she
croire
was
en
with
ça.
us.
Aujourd'hui, elle est
She,
plus là.
she didn't want to believe in this, and today she's not
Sans la
there.
miséricorde d'un bhakta,
Without the mercy of a
il n'y a
bhakta,
pas de Krishna.
there's no Krishna.
Vous avez simplement l'action
You simply
intéressée
have fruitive activity
ou le fait de vous
or the
libérer
fact of
personnellement.
liberating yourself and personally.
Le Seigneur n'est pas présent.
But the Lord is
Il
not
n'est
present.
présent que là
He is
où il y a
present
son
only
devotee.
where his devotee is.
C'est un point très important.
It is a very important
Si
point.
vous négligez
If you neglect
le gourou,
the Guru,
Krishna vous abandonne.
Krishna, he abandons you.
En proportion, vous avez
In
foi,
proportion you
en
have
proportion,
faith,
vous obtiendrez la
in
miséricorde.
proportion you will obtain the mercy.
C'est un principe
It is
universel.
a universal principle.
En proportion,
In
de
proportion,
l'abandon,
there
en
is surrender.
proportion, la connaissance
In proportion,
se
knowledge manifests. Sambandha again in the heart of the
Qu'est-ce
disciple.
qu'il réalise?
What he
Sa
realizes
relation avec Krishna.
is relationship with Krishna.
Même s'il est illettré,
Even if he is illiterate,
même si c'est un idiot,
even if he is an idiot,
quelqu'un qui est incapable,
someone who is incapable of not
mais s'il a
capable
foi
of
dans le
nothing.
gourou qui médite,
Even if
et
he has faith in Guru and he meditates and he takes,
il comprend que
he understands that the instruction of the Guru is at the same level as the instruction of the Lord himself,
alors tout lui est révélé.
so everything will be revealed to him.
Donc,
So
on doit faire attention.
we must be careful.
Et là, naturellement,
And
qu'est-ce qui
there,
s'est passé
naturally,
dans
what
ce
happens in
divertissement?
this pastime
C'est que
it's that
les enfants ont
the
voulu jouer
children
avec les
wanted to
singes.
play with these monkeys.
C'était le fils de Krishna qui a
It
fait
was
ça.
Krishna's son who did
Samba,
this.
c'est ça qui avait
Samba,
mis une boule,
who put
une
like
boule là, dans... Et il s'était déguisé en femme.
he disguised
Il avait
as
été voir
a
les
lady.
sages.
He went to see the
Il avait
sages,
dit, oh
and he
sage,
said,
vous
"Oh
qui êtes
sage,
omniprésent,
you were
est-ce que vous pouvez savoir
omnipresent.
si c'est un garçon?
Can you know if it's a
Et là,
girl or a
ils
boy?"
sont fâchés.
And then
Donc,
they
en
became
fait,
angry. They said,
hein, cette boule de fer, elle
"This
sera la
ball
cause de la
of iron
destruction de
will be
ta
the cause of the
Ils
destruction
ont
of your
essayé de
dynasty."
contrecarrer
So
la
they tried
malédiction
to counteract
en moulant
the curse
la boule de fer.
by grinding the
Et
iron
Krishna
ball.
a fait un arrangement
And Krishna
lui-même
made
de
an
partir
arrangement
avec cette
himself
boule de fer aussi.
to leave
Il
with this
restait un
iron
tout
ball
petit
also.
morceau,
There was a little piece left
pointu, qu'un
like,
poisson avait avalé.
that
Et
the
un
fish
pêcheur,
swallowed,
chasseur,
and a hunter,
donc
like a
en pêchant
fisherman,
le poisson, a
when
retrouvé,
he
il a
took
dit,
the
ouais, ça
fish,
serait bien de
he
faire une
found it
flèche
again and
avec.
said, maybe I can do an arrow with this.
Et pendant que Krishna, il
And
était
when
sous
Krishna
un arbre pipal,
was
si
under
mes
like a
souvenirs sont
pipala
bons,
tree, if
en
my
fait, il
memory
a
is good,
reçu cette flèche
he
qui a
received this arrow,
effleuré
which
en fait
only
son talon.
touched like
Et il en a profité
his feet.
pour ça c'est un divertissement particulier.
It is
Il a
a
laissé un corps
special
maya, et
pastime.
hop, il a
He
été dans
left a
l'autre
body
univers.
made of Maya and he went into another
Alors c'est pas
universe.
toujours qu'il fait ça.
So he doesn't
Parfois,
always do
Prabhupada,
like
il est
that.
rentré dans une déité
As
de
Mahaprabhu,
Gopinath.
he entered into the
Nitai
deity
aussi
of
est rentré dans une
Tutagopinath.
déité.
Nitai entered into a deity also.
Donc parfois le Seigneur repart avec
Sometimes
ses
the Lord
associés
lives
comme
with his
ça. Il y a
associates
plein
like
de
that.
possibilités.
There's many
Et là,
possibilities.
pourquoi Krishna a
And
fait
why
ça?
Krishna did this?
C'est très important à
It's very
comprendre.
important to
C'est
understand.
qu'en fait, le Seigneur, dans cette
It's that
forme
the
de
Lord, in this
douceur,
form of sweetness,
il est extrêmement
he
difficile
is
à comprendre.
extremely difficult to understand
Parce que
because
il enlève sa divinité
he takes away his
pour avoir
divinity
une relation. C'est pas
to have
que
a
la divinité est
relationship.
là,
It's not that the
mais cet
divinity is
aspect de
there,
puissance,
but this aspect
il
of
l'enlève.
strength, he takes it away.
Et il manifeste
And he
sa
manifests
douceur pour
his
avoir une
sweetness
relation avec
to have
lui.
a relationship with
C'est
his
pour ça que c'est
devotees.
très difficile à
That's why it's
comprendre.
very difficult to understand Krishna.
Extrêmement difficile.
Extremely difficult.
Et donc,
And so,
naturellement,
naturally,
pour que
for
ce fluide,
this
et aussi
fluid,
que pour que ces
and
dévots
also for his devotees,
puissent comprendre,
so that they can understand
les êtres athées puissent douter,
that
il manifeste
atheistic
comme
people
ça
can doubt.
divertissement
He manifests
pour
pastimes
que
like this,
chacun,
so
selon
that
sa
everyone,
position,
according to
puisse
his position,
continuer
can continue
et évoluer.
and evolve.
Par exemple, si
For
le Seigneur
example,
venait
if
avec
the Lord
toute sa
will
puissance,
come with all his
je sais
strength
pas, 18 km de haut, et il anéantit tous les
and
armées,
he
maintenant,
kills
vous êtes
all the
dans le
armies, now you're at my
Mais est-ce que
feet,
ça viendrait de nous?
will it come from us?
Non.
No.
Et puis la relation qu'on aurait
And the
avec lui,
relationship
ce
we will
serait
have with him
d'une
will
divinité,
be-
c'est quoi? Ça serait la peur.
will be like all the
Et
fear
en fait, Krishna est le Seigneur
that
de
Krishna
l'amour.
is the Lord of love.
Donc il veut que ça soit par
So he
nous-mêmes que nous
wants
allons à
for
lui.
us to go on our own
Donc
to him.
Krishna crée
So Krishna, he creates
une situation
a
que
situation
simplement, lorsque vous êtes
simply,
prêt, vous pouvez comprendre
but
par un
for
moment.
simply when you are ready, you can understand on your own. This intelligence he gives in the heart of his
Ça permet au
devotee.
dévot de tout
It will
comprendre.
allow for the devotee to understand everything on his
Quelqu'un
own.
qui n'a pas assez
But someone who doesn't have enough,
d'aide du Seigneur
help
suprême,
from
il
the
pense
Supreme
que c'est
Lord,
pas Dieu, parce
he
que
thinks
il a
it is
quitté
not
la
God
son corps.
because he left his body. It's interesting.
Par exemple, Dieu n'a pas besoin
For
de sa
example,
mère.
God doesn't need to suck the breast of his
Elle
mother.
tire les oreilles, des fois, elle
Sometimes
prend
she
la tête,
chastises him with
elle le châtie,
pulling his ear.
et pire encore,
Krishna
le
cries.
Seigneur veut
And worse
vraiment
even,
goûter les
the Lord
biens,
even really
les
wants
doux
to taste
divertissements,
the
il
sweet
s'absorbe dedans.
pastimes. He
Et à la
absorbs
fois,
himself
il
in
est sur
it.
les planètes Vaikuntha en tant que Narayan.
And sometimes he is in the Vaikuntha planet as Narayan, is served by everyone. He is there as Mahavishnu. He creates universes,
Et il est là en tant qu'un
and
petit
he's there
enfant.
like a small child.
Mais parfois, il fait quand même voir qu'il
But
est le Seigneur
sometimes
suprême.
he shows that he is the
Un
Supreme
jour,
Lord.
Krishna,
One day Krishna,
son frère, il a
his
dit à
brother,
Yashoda,
he said to
Oh.
Mother Yashoda, "Oh,
Meya,
Maya,
Kana, il mange
Kana,
la terre.
he eats dirt."
Et Krishna a dit,
And Krishna said,
Meya, écoute
Maya,
pas.
Don't listen.
Il veut que tu me punisses.
He wants you to punish me. That's not true. I cannot eat dirt.
Si tu veux vérifier,
If you want to verify,
il y a pas de terre
you
dans
can
la
look
bouche.
into my mouth. There's no dirt in my mouth.
Et c'est un
And
gouli-là.
it's a
Parce
sweet
que quand
pastime
Krishna part,
because when Krishna
est
leaves,
un charmeur.
Krishna is a charmer.
Mais en même temps, Yashoda,
But at the same
elle
time,
veut aussi
Yashoda,
jouer
she,
le rôle de la
she
mère.
also wants to play the role of a
Elle doit
mother.
tenir compte que
She
Balaram
must
est
understand that
le
Balaram
frère aîné de Krishna.
is the
Il faut quand même
senior
vérifier.
brother of Krishna.
Et qu'est-ce qu'il y a de plus beau
And what is more
regarder dans la
beautiful
bouche
than
de Krishna?
looking into
Krishna
Krishna's
a
mouth?
une haleine tellement
Krishna has a
merveilleuse, des
breath
dents tellement
that is so
merveilleuses, une
wonderful,
langue tellement merveilleuse,
a
tout est
teeth
tellement
that are so
merveilleux.
wonderful, a tongue that is so
Donc,
wonderful.
Yashoda,
So Mother
elle
Yashoda,
vient et dit oui,
she
ouvre
comes
ta
and she
bouche,
says, yes,
je
open your
vérifie.
mouth. I want to verify.
Et quand Krishna a ouvert sa
And when
bouche,
Krishna opened his mouth,
alors Yashoda,
so
elle a
Mother
vu
Yashoda,
tout l'univers
she saw the whole universe
à l'intérieur de Krishna.
inside of
Elle a vu
Krishna.
tout l'univers.
She saw the
Elle
whole
s'est levée
universe.
elle-même, elle a vu Krishna elle-même, elle a vu tout
She saw
l'univers.
Krishna himself. She
Elle a vu même
she saw
le Seigneur
everything.
Adoram Narayana.
She even saw a
Elle a
worshipable
tellement
deity
chuchoté
Narayan,
et tellement
and she was so
émerveillée
much
qu'elle a perdu conscience.
astonished that she lost consciousness.
Tout est contenu en Krishna.
Everything is contained in
Et
Krishna,
pourtant, Krishna, il est
but
contrôlé
still
par
Krishna
une
is controlled by Mother Yashoda.
Et qui peut
But who can
accepter ça?
accept this?
À part une personne extraordinaire qui a servi vie
Besides
après
an
vie
extraordinary person that served life after life the Supreme Lord, it is not possible.
C'est extraordinaire
It is extraordinary
de pouvoir
to be able to distribute this philosophy.
Mais en même temps, qui va comprendre? Quand vous distribuez des livres,
But at the same time, who will understand when you distribute books? Who will understand? Simply people who already practice from their previous life. Otherwise, it is not possible.
les gens
People,
ordinaires, ils prennent
ordinary
refuge
people,
dans la
they take
religion
shelter
qui donne
in
des biens
religion that
matériels,
gives
qui permet d'être heureux
material
matériellement.
goods
C'est pour ça,
and
dans
that
ces
can make you
religions, il y a
happy,
des
materially
milliards de
speaking.
personnes.
That's why in these religions there
Et
are
jamais ils
billions of
obtiennent
people,
l'amour de Dieu.
but never they obtain love of
Ils
God.
obtiennent
They
simplement
obtain
plus
simply
d'attachement matériel.
more material attachments.
Qu'est-ce qu'ils pensent?
What do
Je
they
souffre.
think? I
Si
suffer.
j'accepte une voie spirituelle,
If
je
I
vais
accept
pouvoir
a
être heureux.
spiritual
Mais
path, I will be
jamais
able to be happy.
ils veulent rendre heureux Krishna.
But never they
Jamais.
want to make
C'est juste
Krishna
des
happy.
matérialistes. C'est
They're
pas
only
des spiritualistes.
materialist people.
C'est juste des matérialistes
They're just
déguisés.
materialistic people
Mais c'est pas des
disguised.
spiritualistes, c'est des
But they're not
matérialistes,
spiritualists.
subtils, quoi.
They're
Plus
subtle
avancés
spiritualists,
dans la gratification des
more
sens.
advanced into sense gratification. That's true.
Ils veulent des vierges au paradis.
They want virgin
Une
in
vingtaine.
paradise.
Ils pensent qu'à faire du
20 of
sexe.
them. They only want to have sex.
Ils adorent Dieu pour faire
They
du
worship
sexe.
God to have sex.
Si le Seigneur leur dit, je
If
vais
the
tout
Lord
sortir,
tells them, I will take away everything from you, you'll have
Krishna va
nobody.
tout vous retirer.
When you
Il va
worship
faire
Krishna,
un
that means
arrangement
Krishna will
pour
take
que
everything
votre
away
situation
from
soit
you.
finie.
He will make an
Et
arrangement
jusqu'à
for
son
you,
temps, t'inquiète pas, il va s'occuper de
situation
ça.
to be
Vous pourrez rien faire. Si Krishna
finished
veut pas,
materially.
vous pourrez
You
rien
cannot
faire.
do anything. If Krishna wants to
Et ça,
take you back,
personne
you
veut
cannot
ça.
do
C'est
anything. But
l'horreur.
nobody wants that. This is
Dès qu'ils voient Krishna, ils
horror.
sauvent.
As soon as they see Krishna, they
Ils vont
escape.
même jusqu'à l'offenser, c'est juste un être ordinaire.
They even offend them. They say he's an ordinary being. The Bhagavad Gita is false. Mahabharata is false. It's false. Only the scripture is true.
Ils réalisent pas qu'ils sont là.
But they don't realize they are the soul.
Ils réalisent pas leur relation.
They don't realize
avec
their
le Seigneur.
eternal
Le
relationship
Seigneur
with the
reste
Lord.
loin.
The Lord stays
C'est pour
far
ça
away.
qu'on devrait jamais
That's why we should
offenser
never
les
offend
sages. On
the
devrait
monkeys.
respecter chaque religion.
We should respect every religion.
Chacun a un handicap,
Everyone has an adhikar, a qualification,
une conscience.
a consciousness.
Mais ça ne veut pas dire que tout est au
But that
même
doesn't
niveau.
mean that everything is at the same level.
Il y en a qui ne voient rien.
Some people don't see anything.
Il y en a qui veulent juste des biens matériels.
Some they just want material,
Il y en a qui
Things.
pensent que le Seigneur n'a pas d'associé.
and something that the Lord doesn't have any associates. He doesn't sleep. He
Il peut avoir
doesn't
des
eat.
sentiments.
He cannot have feelings.
C'est juste la peur,
This is only fear,
la crainte.
being
Il y en a
afraid.
qui le conçoivent comme le créateur,
Some conceive him like the creator
et l'annihilateur.
or the
Il y en a
destroyer.
qui comprennent
the
qu'il a une
maintainer.
demeure, mais qu'il est
Some
Dieu.
realize he has a kingdom, but he is God.
Et puis, il y en
And
a
then,
qui peuvent entrer dans
some
son
they can
intimité
enter
de plus
into
en
his
plus, de plus en
intimacy
plus, de plus en plus.
more and more and more and more.
Il y a différents niveaux.
There are
de
different
progression
levels
d'amour.
of
Tout est
progression
pas
of
sur le même
love.
niveau.
Not everything is at the same level. Although everything is given by the Supreme Lord, He reveals Himself according to the qualification of people. That is why the so-called great sages who say everything is one, yes, but the perception is, and relationship is different. The proof is that even them, they are not conscious of their eternal nature and their eternal feelings. They don't know the Supreme Lord. They don't know His form, His name, the smell, the fragrance of His body, the sweetness, the softness of His skin. They don't know anything. But they say, we have the absolute truth, all the others, they are false. So this is pride. There's no humility. When there's humility, we don't think. We think what I can know from the Lord is what He reveals to me. And even on the platform of humility, what we know is what? Is my feeling and my proximity with Him. But the Lord is unlimited. He can be everywhere at the same time in all relationships, and can be even partially in the heart of the living entities, giving them the results of their activities. One time, I remember I went into a Buddhist temple. I like to go everywhere. I love to see people progress and go towards a spiritual life. And I was quite astonished because I saw a Lama. I didn't say I was a devotee of the Lord. I approached like someone who doesn't know anything. It's the best way. Otherwise, a person will not respond to you frankly. And there was a temple with 1,000 Buddhas. There was a statue of Buddha. And the first thing he told me, he said, this is not God, this is me or us who worship ourselves. And offering, it's all the attachments we have. We offer to our reality, our supreme reality, so that we can detach ourselves from it. And he told me there's no God. And I told him, but the saints who hear God, and he said they are madmen. I was really surprised. Such a severe dialogue. And I started to see people who do the austerities, like offering obeisances. They had, I don't know what, they were offering prayers in front of a big Buddha. And I said, what they do? And they said, he does a worship to have this, to have that. It's very interesting because Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur says that without worshipping, we cannot have anything, because only through bhakti the Lord gives something. So if there is no God, why do we do a worship? Interesting. Why do 1,000 dandavats in front of a statue? They don't have the consciousness to understand that they worship, but they still worship unconsciously, because otherwise they don't obtain anything. It's interesting. Krishna says, I'm the master of sacrifices, etc. I'm the supreme controller. I'm the one who gives everything. All the results of the activities. There's a reality. For example, certain they think about the law of karma without God. Who gives the law of karma? It happens automatically. It's completely absurd. It is the Lord who accompanies the living entities. He is there personally, and this is why we are subjected to the law of karma. That means we must take the result of our actions because someone is looking at us. But when we don't want to be with him and we reject him, he stays hidden. That doesn't mean he's not there. You understand? So some, they say they are realized, but they are atheists. It's a little contradictory. But it is not contradictory. Why? It is because although Krishna stays hidden, he still gives to that person his realization. And he can liberate someone only to allow him to get away from suffering and go to a place which we call nirvana, the Viraj River or the Karana Ocean, and then they can go there into a plane of neutrality. It's not false. Krishna fulfills all desires. All desires. By staying hidden. Even someone who wants to attain heaven, he can even have a vision of heaven. Someone who worships Jesus can have a relationship with Jesus. Krishna is the origin of everything. When he took all the forms of the cows, of the cart boys, he takes all forms, any form he wants. And there's this famous verse in the Bhagavad Gita. He says that he gives the strength to the worshipper, the faith, and also the fruit. He manifests like the object of worship. It is very interesting, this verse of Bhagavad Gita is very powerful. Krishna can reciprocate with all forms of worship, all the demigods. You can receive everything from him. He gives everything. But his intimacy, it is different. Because when he gives everything, that means he doesn't give himself. For example, my heart is there, but then there's something else, and he doesn't give his heart. But what we want is Krishna's heart. I want him to reveal to me his heart. And for that, for a relationship of love that really starts to manifest Krishna in his kingdom, although he is all-powerful, everything comes from him, everything exists by him and for him, he will have a lack, so that you can love him. He will cry, so that you can console him. And this is what is inconceivable. But how many lives of practicing do we need to understand this? Millions of lives as a Jnani. It's really rare. Can you believe it? The Supreme Lord, who for you, he forgets his divinity. And he will go give himself to you because he has a suffering. Can we imagine the love that will manifest from us by such a special power? Because when you are with Krishna, you're not an ordinary being anymore. You have unlimited strength through his strength of pastimes. You have unlimited love, unlimited qualities, and you can have the strength to soothe the heart of the Supreme Lord. This is Krishna. Krishna creates a situation where you can be with him. But what is the love of living entities next to that? It's so insignificant. We are attached to this because we don't taste anything else. Once we have the experience of Krishna, nobody can catch you anymore. It's finished. That is why. But it's not easy, is that the experience can come only by the mercy. And this Krishna, we cannot force him. That's why the attitude is important. In proportion there is a sacrifice, in proportion you will obtain Krishna. That's why Krishna wants to see, what are you ready to do for me? You want your smaller happiness or you want me? It is for you to decide. You can decide. Thank you very much.